Syria's president says countries like the US, Saudi Arabia, Qatar and Turkey are hindering peace in his country by supporting those he calls terrorists. Bashar al-Assad accused Washington of being partially responsible for the deaths of innocent civilians by partnering with the rebels. The Syrian army have started large-scale drills simulating defense against outside attacks. Some opposition leaders previously appealed to the West for foreign intervention against the regime. But as Maria Finoshina reports from Syria, many in the country are fearing for their lives if the rebel forces get what they want.
Since the uprising in Syria escalated, the West has been consistently calling on Assad and his government to step down, effectively to give in to the demands of the armed opposition. But it seems so far there is no clear understanding of who exactly they are.
These fighters of the Syrian opposition, they're brave, determined, full of pride. They took their fate in their hands.
But for some, taking control of their destiny meant taking up arms. In this amateur video posted on YouTube, which cannot be independently verified, gunmen calling themselves members of the opposition militia from Idlib explain why this man was hanged. He helped the Syrian regime and was killing the rebels, they say.
On behalf of all France, let me express my admiration by their bravery.
But this kind of justice only adds more anger to what has already been called a civil war.
They're terrorists, criminals, murderers. I believe killing them is necessary for any citizen to live in peace.
We cannot ask the opposition to unilaterally give up their struggle for justice, dignity and self-determination.
In another video, whose origin is hard to establish, these men say they captured this Syrian Air Force officer. Then they dispense even more rough justice.
The United States will continue providing non-lethal assistance to help those inside Syria who are carrying the fight to organize and better communicate.
In this video, the voice behind camera says the fight must go on. It warns this will happen to anyone who cooperates with the Assad government.
They are top criminals, these people. Top of criminality. How do they have the right?
You feel sad when you find your country destroyed. Our country we've been building all our lives.
The whole world wants to see a political transition from this illegitimate regime to actually see one that can take care of its people.
Many here, however, fear that should such people force Assad to leave, sins like these could become a familiar occurrence and have little faith in Western-forced democracy.
Why are they talking about democracy in the Gulf or in other countries? We are Syrian people. We should decide these things ourselves.
This mantra that the Syrian people alone should determine their country's future has been repeated by many nations and has finally been recognized by major world powers. But with some states continuing to call on Assad to leave and supporting his opponents, fears mount here in Syria that it's the people that will pay the ultimate price. Maria Finoshina, RT, from Damascus in Syria.